Welcome everyone to this presentation on digital literacy and how it connects to finding employment and success in Canada. If you watch through this 10-minute presentation, at the end you should be able to communicate an up-to-date definition of what is digital literacy. Understand how digital literacy is going to impact your job search, your job maintenance, your learning, and Canada's economy. Become familiar with some internet usage statistics, and demonstrate awareness of possible differences in how technology is used in the workplace now that you're in Canada. Let's look at some statistics. Canada has over 26 million internet users. That's over 80% of the population. China has a whole lot more, but when you compare it to the population as a total in China, we're far more connected per capita in Canada. In 2010, 8 out of 10 Canadian households had access to the internet. Over one-half of connected households used more than one type of device to go online. Email was the most common activity that internet users engaged in. 50% of those with access use it for internet, education, training, or schoolwork. 51% of internet users ordered goods or services for personal or household use. So, welcome to a very connected Canada. Those are statistics from Statistics Canada. Let's proceed. What is digital literacy and why is it important? We know that a lot of Canadians are connected. Let's delve further. Initially, digital literacy was the ability to use a computer or write programming languages. That's changed over time. The new definition is divided into 4 levels. Level 1 is access. Do you have the opportunity and the competence to access computers or technology? Do you have the technical know-how, the ability to access, use the knowledge and resources? Can you comprehend, contextualize, find out what the best website to go to is, critically evaluate it to find what's best for you? Can you produce content? It's not just about being a receiver, ultimately about giving back. So why is it important? Well, I'll explain that through 3 pictures. On the far left is a typewriter. We all know we don't use typewriters anymore. There are laptops that we use at work. Technology is always evolving. It's important we stay up to date. Second picture is someone writing. Writing is still a valuable skill to have. However, you often need to transition your thoughts to a paper to prepare reports or graphs or type memos or type emails. Picture 3. Let's look over there. 2 people standing over a woman sitting at her monitor desk. Imagine they're delegating. Now this is a key concept. Whether you're the boss, the director, the manager, the supervisor, it's important for you to be able to do your own computer work. Having an administrative assistant, or what in the past might have been called a secretary, is not the usual standard practice. Everyone needs to be able to perform competently on their own. Let's talk about the world of work. Digital skills are a suite of skills that help Canadians connect in today's world and function in the labor market of today and tomorrow. We're going to give some examples to support that. Artistic creators, they want to enhance their art. Maybe even the way they publish it. Firms and businesses, they want to remain competitive. So they might use technology and the internet to market their product using social media or gain an international following of people who want to buy their products. Teachers, like we said earlier, over 50% use the internet for learning. This is a huge impact if you decide to go back to school or if you decide to engage in further studies now that you're in Canada. Individuals, they want to connect with a relative who lives across the world, keep in touch with their family in another city or another country free of cost. So these are all ways that we are using technology to function. I'll go back to the artistic creators, people who do graphic designs, who use their art in movies. So these are all people who are using technology to enhance their art. There's a key concept called menial is menial no more. And it's really about some of the jobs that we thought, oh, I'll do that job. It doesn't take too many technical skills. But really, there's a lot of technical skills that you need even for entry-level jobs. So we have 4 examples of entry-level positions where your technical skills are still quite crucial and quite key. So we have the delivery person, the stock shelf, the barista, the customer service representative. So that's where Canada's heading. It's moving to a more uniform labor market that requires essential skills and digital literacy skills for all. So, digital literacy, let's talk about how it can help us in finding and retaining employment. When you want to find a job, often you need to navigate online applications. The company may ask you to do assessments. You might meet someone who has a perfect job for you and they'll say, send me your resume. So you need to be able to attach a file, structure an email, and send it. If you want to find job leads or find names of companies who are hiring, you may need to be able to navigate an internet job database. You may want to build an online presence or an online brand, and we'll talk more about that in a bit. Recruitment methods, we'll talk more about that in a bit as well. And of course, setting up the job interview. They might send you an email about when and which time they want to meet you for the interview, and you're going to be able to need to access that and reply. So, retaining a job, and this is really any job. A lot of jobs, even if they're not in an IT company, or maybe not even in a corporate office. There was an example of a company that hires welders to build parts for trucks, and how all their scheduling was done online, and people had to log in to computer machines to find their scheduling information. The same was for accessing employee files, accessing performance review files, accessing company resources, accessing things like I want to submit a request for vacation, or maybe you need to submit a request because your company will provide you some money for your tuitions, things of that nature. Email communication, for instance, there was a health and safety issue at the plant that night and you need to email your supervisor who's coming in first thing in the morning to let them know what happened. So, many aspects of work are affected by technology. Here's a key concept. In the past, workers only needed to show up, saying they were looking for work, and as long as they were responsible and reliable, well, you got the job. Today, the means to employment for the exact same position are governed by a different set of rules. So often you have to jump through certain hurdles or loops, and often they involve technology. For instance, send me your resume, or log in to our database to see your schedule on Monday, things of that nature. We have the Ontario Literacy Coalition to thank for doing the research and finding a lot of these interesting facts. So let's talk about building an online presence. It says branding is no longer a novelty, it's a necessity. We're in the opportunity market, trying to make our skills, our experience, what we're good at, what our specialization is, stand out. Let's talk about personal versus professional. So we have different tools. We have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, we have blogs, we have Facebook. Now earlier I talked about recruitment methods, and this is an example of my LinkedIn page, and based on my experience and skills, they will give me examples of different jobs that I might be interested in. So there you go, using LinkedIn to recruit. So that was on the previous slide about how technology is influencing LinkedIn. Technology is influencing recruitment, and recruiters will often recruit through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is what I would term as, or most people would term as, a professional social media site that you want to put your professional image on. Facebook is personal. If you want to put pictures of your parties or your families, you can put that on Facebook. You should still have a very high security setting because employers or recruiters may Google you and see what shows up. Generally though, if you met someone for an interview, you should not send them a Facebook request. However, you may be able to connect on LinkedIn and send them a message explaining where you met and how you enjoyed meeting them at the interview and inviting them to connect. Now, branding is what you're known for, what you're known as, and what you're known for knowing. So you want to put your expertise using a site that other professionals use. So in this case, I would recommend LinkedIn. Blogging, it's up to you. It's a great way to show your expertise, to share your thoughts, but make sure you're using it with caution. Your every tweet, every post, that is in some way affecting your image. And much like your actions in the workplace affect your image, so would your online presence affect your image to people who view that online presence. Let's talk more about defining digital literacy. We talked about that briefly. So you need technological infrastructure to have level 1. If you do not have access to technology or do not know how to use it, well, you can't be digitally literate. So that's really level 1. And we're quite fortunate that a large percentage of our society is technically connected or technologically connected, and there are opportunities in the community to connect as well, even if you do not own your own technology. Let's talk about level 2. So we have the word processors, the web browsers, email, other communication tools. Can you use search engines? Can you use online databases? Do you know how to use cloud computing, things of that nature? Understand, this is very crucial. So making decisions about what we do and encounter online, recognizing how it affects our behavior. So for instance, perhaps not only relying on technology in your job search, but understanding the importance of the human connecting with people, very crucial. Finding, evaluating, and effectively using information. You'll find a lot of information on the internet, information about how to look for work, information about how to prepare your resume. You need to be able to critically see what's most effective for me. Create. So this is about giving back depending on your audience. So always know who your audience is. To use images, videos, sounds, engage in blogs and discussion forums, really positioning yourself as an expert in your field. Okay, we have Media Smarts to thank for all this information, and one of my instructors as well. Digital skills, where do I start? Now, you can contact your local library, you can run a search for courses, you can contact a government office, you can contact local service providers, you can contact continuing education branches, local schools or websites. Career Mesh is one example. Here's a very key concept to keep in mind. Your employer is looking for a variety of things: your education, your experience, your digital skills, your soft skills, your technical skills. So building an online presence is crucial. However, you need to make sure that you are still connecting and networking and engaging with professionals in person. Your technology or your online presence is really just the backup. So when you network, people may look for you online, or they may check out your blog, or by having good technical skills, you will be able to respond to an email or attach your resume. However, nothing takes away from the personal touch and connecting with people for your success. So if there are any questions, feel free to contact me, connect with me, or check out my blog. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.